Chapter 2. On the Prairie. Laura Ingalls sat on the doorstep, looking out across the endless prairie. Even though the morning sun was still low in the eastern sky, she could feel its warmth on her face. At any moment, she expected her mother to call her to put on her sunbonnet so that her skin did not burn in the baking sun. But somehow, her mother seemed strangely preoccupied this morning. "Now, you just sit there on that rocking chair and don't mind a thing," Laura heard Pa say to her mother. She peered inside the log cabin. The milk from the cow was sitting unchurned in the bucket beside the table, and the bowls from breakfast had not yet been put back up high on the shelf. That was odd. Laura's mother usually took care of such things straight away. Something was definitely different about this August morning. "How about we go explore an Indian camp, girls?" Pa asked. "Could we, Pa? All four of us?" Laura heard her older sister Mary ask, and then she caught a look of amusement pass between her parents. "Just the three of us today, girls. Mrs. Scott is coming over to visit with your mother, and I thought you'd like an adventure," Pa said. Yes, I would," 3.5-year-old Laura exclaimed. Even at this young age, she wanted to see what lay beyond the circle of prairie that enveloped the family and their log cabin. "Can Jack come too? He loves chasing jackrabbits and squirrels." "How about it, Caroline?" Pa asked Laura's mother. "If I take Jack, I'll leave you with the rifle, and Mrs. Scott should be carrying one too." "That's fine. You all run along and have a good time," Laura's mother said as she placed straw sunbonnets on the girls' heads and tied them firmly under their chins. Soon the two girls waved goodbye to their mother and walked out onto the prairie. Apart from an old Osage Indian trail, there were no roads or tracks on the land. The nearest neighbors, the Scotts, lived more than a mile away, and the town of Independence lay 14 miles to the northeast. Laura knew that she had been to Independence before, but she was too young to remember anything about the place. She did know, though, that her family had settled on this land a year earlier, and that, in that time, her father had built the sturdy log cabin they now lived in, had plowed some of the prairie near the cabin, and had planted wheat and a vegetable patch. Her father had also built a stable for their 2 horses, Patty and Pet, to keep them safe from the wildcats and wolves that roamed the land at night. The only thing that rose above the endless prairie grass was a line of trees in the distance, and Laura knew that the trees bordered a creek. "Is that where we're going?" she asked her father as she bobbed along beside him, 2 of her steps equaling one of his strides. "Sure is," Pa replied. "Will we find Indians?" Laura asked. Even though she lived in Indian territory, a kind of no-man's land where both the Indians and the pioneers claimed ownership of the land, Laura had seen only Indian men. More than anything, she wanted to see an Indian baby, or a papoose, as her mother said they were called. "No half pint?" her father replied, using Laura's nickname. "It's midsummer, and the Indians have taken their ponies and gone west into the high prairie, hunting for buffalo. They'll be back in the fall with meat and hides, and then they'll settle back in for the winter and head out again to hunt in the spring." "Why'd they do that?" Mary asked. "It's just the way they live. The high prairie is too cold for them to live on during the winter, but just right for hunting buffalo in the summer. And they don't mind moving around," Pa explained. "Kinda like you," Laura remarked. Her father laughed. "I guess I've done my share of that," he said. "It's in the Ingalls blood." Just then, Jack, the bulldog, barked wildly and sprinted off to their left. "He's having just as much fun as the rest of us." "Do you want to be the lookout?" Pa asked. Laura felt her father's strong arms reach down and swing her up onto his shoulders. This was her favorite place to be, looking down.